If you like crazy stories with a plot twist, stick around for this. This is my story time. Everybody's been asking for it. My name's Little Vibes ZXZ. I make music. My finger just got mutilated probably like 3 months ago, and this is the story behind it. So basically, what I was doing is I was working construction. I work construction. I do commercial maintenance. That consists of drywall, plumbing, electric. I don't know how to do electric. I never did that part of it, but I did everything else. I was working on a window. There was glass shards in the window, and basically, what the fuck happened is they tell you to wear gloves. I wasn't wearing fucking gloves. I'm stubborn, and I'm like, fuck it. Nothing's gonna happen to me. Like I've been around glass my whole life. I've been around fucking mechanical tools my whole life. Like I'll be fine. I was working on a window, didn't have gloves on, and I was taking the glass out. The glass slipped and cut my finger right off, and all my bro. I looked down at my finger, dude, and I didn't even fucking like react at first. I just looked down at it, and I'm like, whoa, call an ambulance. And fucking my buddy that I work with, he's like freaking out, dude. He's like, dude, you're gonna die. You're gonna fucking die, dude. You're gonna die. And I was like, dude, I'm fine. Like, call an ambulance. Like, like if I freak out, if you freak out, you're gonna make me freak out. And if I freak out, I'm gonna lose more blood. My heart rate's gonna go up. I could die. I was like, dude, like we gotta stay calm. Call an ambulance. Blah 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 blah. So it only took about 5 minutes for the ambulance to get there, and they get there and they put me in the ambulance, and all this is for educational purposes only, TikTok. So don't don't restrict me or whatever the fuck. But we get in the ambulance and fucking dude, my finger, the blood's squirting everywhere, all over the nurses, all over, squirting everywhere, dude. And we get in the fucking ambulance, and I'm just laying there, dude, and I can't even feel this shit because my adrenaline's pumping so bad, and like like I can't feel it, dude. It just happened. I'm in shock. So but I know that I'm gonna start feeling it. So I asked him. I was like, I have epilepsy, so that's seizures. Um, so I haven't had one in a while, but I was worried that I was gonna have one because I was losing so much blood and I was getting dizzy. So I was like, can you guys give me Keppra through my IV? And they're like, we don't have Keppra. We don't have Keppra in the ambulance, but and I was like, what do you guys have? And I told them that because it was starting to hurt at this point, and I was like, it's starting to hurt. My finger's starting to hurt. What do you guys have for the pain? And they told me the only thing that they had was fucking fentanyl, dude, Finny, and they said they could administer it through my IV. And you could look this up. You could do the research. I swear to God. I like only thought they did this for like pregnant women that were going in labor, but no, they said that's the only thing they had, and I was like freaking out. I was like, dude, I'm not gonna like pass out or nothing. Like, like nothing's gonna happen to me, right? And I was like, I'm not gonna like, like I'm gonna be coherent, right? Like it's not gonna make me fucking KO. And they're like, yeah, you'll be coherent. And I was like, all right, cool. And so I let them administer me like a dose of that, and we get to the hospital, and I have all my long curly hair. If you guys know me well enough, if you guys have followed me for long enough, I have long curly hair. It's just a lot to take care of. Curly hair is a lot to take care of. You're not supposed to wash it every day. You use certain conditioners and shampoos. It'll tangle it up. And so, like, on the days I don't feel like taking care of it, I'm not going to lie, I just bunch it up in the hood. But this day, for some reason, right before all this happened, I decided to take a shower that morning. So my hair was all luscious and down and curly, and they wheel me in on the stretcher. I just freshly got my finger cut off. It's hanging by a fucking thread, and the nurses are like, "Oh boy," they're like, "You still look good." Like it was an older like lady, and she was like, "Oh my, like you still look good. Like you still look good, sweetheart." And like she was like low key like rizzing me up, like telling me I look good, and made me feel a little better because I just got my finger chopped off, and you know, and they take me to the room, and dude, so I get to the room, and they're like stitching my. They tell me they have to stitch my finger back up, and I'm like, all right, and so, but first they have to take the X-rays. So my finger, let me remind you, is dangling by a thread, dude. And I have like fucking 5, 6 people in my room, and they're grabbing my finger, dude, that's hanging by a thread and moving it around. Like moving, just a loose, tiny piece of skin was there, and they're grabbing my finger and moving it around. So, like, you see this picture? the bottom part, I was trying to point at it, but the bottom part of my finger was the only part of my finger that was holding on, and they're like wiggling it and moving it around, and I can feel the skin that's like left, like almost about to like tear off, and like I wanted to say something but I didn't, and they just keep doing it, and they finally get the X-rays done. They wheeled in this little thing to take the X-rays, and then dude, I already knew they were about to do the stitches. I was so nervous, so I was like, dude, I was like, can you guys administer me another dose of the fentanyl? I'm not gonna lie. You know, I was scared. I knew that this was gonna help the pain. It helped before. You know, I got a little loopy. Like it just made me really fucking loopy. Like it makes you really dizzy and like just giddy and happy. Like I don't know. It made me like tired kind of too, and like so I asked them for another dose of that. They said yeah, but this is your last dose. I was like okay, and they stitched my finger back together. I looked the other way the whole time because like I could not watch it. I felt it, like I felt the threads going through my finger, and it's like the weirdest feeling ever, dude. Like you can feel them like tightening your finger. It's like someone's sewing, like it basically is someone sewing your finger together. It's like your finger's a blanket and they're just, and yeah, dude, it fucking sucked. And I sat there and I'm not gonna lie, I was like like you know it fucking sucked, dude. And they had SpongeBob playing the whole time for me, and then I fucking was watching SpongeBob while they were doing this to me, and you know that's kind of like a comfort show, so like kind of relieved me a little bit, but for the most part that shit fucking hurt, dude. And so then they sew it back on. I told them I didn't even want my finger back on. I told them I don't need a finger. There's people walking around without arms and shit, and they still function in life, and they're still good in life. I was like, I don't need a fucking finger. Don't give me my finger. And they said it's mandatory. They have to give me my finger back. They're like, and they kept saying, you need your finger for work, right? You need your finger for work, right? And I was like, you know, like I just gave in, dude. And eventually, after they sewed it on, they were like, you need to go into surgery so a doctor can reconstruct your finger. And I was ready to get out at this point, and I'm like, no, dude, like I'm ready to get the fuck out. And they basically gave me like no choice because like it's the doctor's recommendations. Like at that point, bro, your finger's cut off. The doctor can make the decisions for you. So like he said I needed to go into surgery. So I go into surgery. They reconstruct my finger. Um, and like they just reconstructed the nerves, like put the nerves back together, and then they put these pins in my finger. There's actually one on each side. You can't see it in this picture. They put the pins in my finger to hold my finger in place so the bone can regrow back together the right way because like I said, it cut right through the bone. And yeah, dude, that's basically the story. That's the story time. I just went literally 2 days ago to get the rods removed, and so far the healing process, my finger, I can't bend it, dude. This is the most I can do with it. So, but I mean, I can feel my joint there. Like it's weird. I can feel my joint there, and like it's almost like it wants to move. And when I do it, it moves. But my bone's still healing, so I feel like over time I'll be able to bend it. But right now I can't. But um, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. That's the end of the video, end of the story time. Thank you guys if you sat all the way through this video. You should give me a follow. You should like. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment down in the comments. I'll answer as many as I can. I also answer all DMs. So if you guys DM me, I'll answer. Um, and yeah, guys, just thanks for sticking around. Thanks for hearing my story. It's a wicked one. I'm gonna have a wicked ass scar, and it's gonna be a wild story to tell my kids one day. Um, but yeah, punk rock shit, you know. Uh, have a good day, guys. Have a blessed day, and stay safe.